Away from that, the Minister of State for Budget and National Planning has pledged that state governors are responsible for the rise in poverty in the country. The minister based his submission on misplaced priorities such as building bridges and airports that do not have direct impact on the well-being of the people. Clement Agba spoke at the weekly Federal Executive Council meeting when he was asked what the federal government is doing to alleviate the suffering of Nigerians. TVC News State House correspondent Femi Akonde reports.
The World Bank had projected that the number of poor people in Nigeria is expected to hit 95.1 million this year. The recent National Multidimensional Poverty Index report, launched by the National Bureau of Statistics, exceeds the World Bank's projection. These latest statistics has brought heavy knocks on the federal government, and many people are even beginning to criticize government's policies, plans and programs targeted at lifting Nigerians out of poverty. The Minister of State for Budget and Economic Planning believes state governments should carry the bulk of the blame for their failure to carry out an effective needs assessment of the people at the rural areas, where more than 72% of the country's poor resides.
The results clearly show that poverty, at least 72% of poverty is in the rural areas. It also shows clearly that Sokoto State is leading in poverty with 91%.
Clement Egba insists the federal government has done so much in alleviating poverty that is largely caused by conflict, inequality, climate change, and several other factors.
I think on the federal government side, we are doing our best, but we need to push that rather than governors continue to compete to take loans to build airports that are not necessary, where they have other airports so close to them, or governors now competing to build flyovers all over the place, and we applaud them. They should concentrate on building rural roads so that the farmer can at least get their product to the market.
The Federal Executive Council meeting, chaired by President Muhammadu Buhari, also approved a memo for the research and development of broadband technology that will result in cost-effective satellite solutions in rural Nigeria through a public-private partnership. The project is expected to meet Nigeria's aspiration to ensure about 90% of citizens have access to fast, affordable, reliable and high-speed broadband internet. Femi Akonde, TVC News, Abuja.
In a swift reaction, Governor Ben Ayade of Cross River State has countered the Minister of State for Budget and National Planning over his comment, which claimed that governors are responsible for the rise in poverty in the country. Governor Ayade said it would be unfair for anybody to blame the governors alone for the economic downturn of the country. He made this remark when he appeared on TVC News' flagship program, The Breakfast Show.
I would not want to do a critical appraisal of the statement of the minister, but indeed, a lot of Nigerians have been thrown into poverty. This is exacerbated by the current global trends. But to narrow it down to governors alone would be a bit unfair. There are so many circumstances, the micro and particularly the macroeconomic climate, which is beyond the modulation of governors. He may not even realize how challenging it is for governors to pay salaries. You may not even realize how shameful it is for the level of the devaluation of the naira and the associated cumulative downstream impact on projects that are being executed by governors.